right.
This is one of those rare occasions when I'm like, I really, really wish that Chucky had to suffer through this with us.
Yeah, I'm sitting here wondering what I did to you. Like genuinely, what the fuck? How did this happen?
Well, I guess I should.
This is your doing.
I should probably explain why we're reviewing this film.
Yeah, reviewing.
And I should probably explain
Film.
what. Yeah. I should probably also explain what the hell Netflix roulette is.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I am at home and I have something to do that I can watch TV and do.
Yeah.
I try to find something to watch, like
Good
any
plan.
normal person would do.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If
You're
I'm
doing a good job explaining so far. I'm so proud.
If I am taking too long, basically what I'll do is I'll open up an app. In this case, it was Netflix. And I will go to the movie tab.
Yeah.
Close my eyes, search around for a little bit, and then just select the movie I land on.
So you do this like...
Yes.
This is what happens when you're left unattended. I went to an anime convention and...
Well, for me, usually what I use is Amazon because it has that like movies for you thing. And I've watched so many movies on Amazon that it's got me down pretty
you're like
well.
The only one who uses
so I'll just scroll in that little bar and find something, and it's usually some dumb esoteric movie that no one cares about or likes, and then I'll watch it and I'll wind up loving it.
Yeah.
But in this case, it was Netflix. And unfortunately, it landed on The Cat in the Hat, a 2003 film starring Mike Myers, among others.
I purposefully had never seen this.
Me too.
It was intentional.
Yes. Yeah.
I intentionally never watched this.
I have never had a desire to see this film.
No.
I remember when it came out.
Yes.
I remember seeing commercials for it.
Oh, yeah. Being horrified and going, excuse you? No, fuck that.
And yeah, basically just being completely turned off by the whole idea of this thing.
Yes.
I don't know who this was for because I mean, aside from the fact that it's just a bunch of wah-wah wacky shit happening.
But it's not even all that wacky. I don't know. We'll get into it.
No. This is one of the wackiest movies I've ever seen.
It?
Yes,
I feel like wacky is usually like intentional in some way. This is just a bunch of random shit that happens.
This is intentionally wacky and yet not funny.
It's not funny.
At all.
My
None
God.
of these jokes land. There was one thing that got me, and I don't know why. We will discuss that when we get to it.
Okay.
But for the most part, I could tell you why this film was made. Because back in 2000, they released How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah, The Grinch. With Jim Carrey.
Right.
Yeah.
Directed by Ron Howard.
Uh-huh.
Starring Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Great.
It was
an unintentional hit.
Okay.
It was fine. As far as an adaptation goes. I mean, to this day, people still... watch that during the holidays.
It is a Christmas Christian movie.
Yeah, whether we like it or not, it is a beloved movie.
It's fine.
And it did very well when it came out.
I love Jim Carrey. I love Mike Myers, or I used to. Yeah. In like 1993.
Mike Myers had a weird career and a downward spiral after the year 2000.
No.
Everything he did was just kind of like, what?
Well, okay. Well, well, first of all, I mean, we've got several things to tend to before we fucking get into this. First of all, we need some Bullet Machine, yeah?
Sure.
All right.
Hit it.
Let's do it.
Welcome to a show about pop culture stuff. We keep watching and connected, but it's never enough. Talking with our friends about our favorite things. TV shows and movies and some random swearing. This is the pretty little podcast.
Hello, all you pretty little people. This is the Pretty Little Podcast. I'm your host, Deadbeat Chad. With me is perpetual special guest, Jess.
Yes, that's me. Yeah.
That is you.
I'm here. Sullenly and with one arm tied behind my back, I'm here to talk about this fucking movie.
Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, Chucky is not with us today,
Asshole.
unfortunately.
No, not unfortunately. That motherfucker, I will call him out right now.
Hey.
He was supposed to be here,
Yeah,
and he said, I'm not doing this.
I almost had him. I almost had him. I
How
had
does
him.
he get it out? And I'm
I
here.
set this thing up. I told him why we were reviewing this. He
Yeah.
hated the fucking concept. He doesn't like the idea of doing Netflix roulette. He brought up some good points. Bottom line is he watched 20 minutes of it, stopped, and said, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, well, also, to be fair, you started watching this when I was at that convention, got 10 minutes in, and was like, no, fuck it, I'm waiting for Jess.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing this twice.
But, so, you know what? Fuck you, Chucky. I mean, I love him. Everyone, you know, I adore that man. That mess of a man. However, for this episode, we've got someone better. Someone closer to the source, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Given
somebody
the subject of the
somebody
movie?
that would know exactly what a cat should be.
Exactly. Yes.
How a cat should act.
Someone very opinionated.
Very opinionated and very loud.
Yeah.
Lady Airmid Diane Peckinpaw,
Oh my goodness.
more lovingly referred to around the house as Mew.
It's the Mew.
Mew, tell them who you are and what you do.
Okay, I don't think they need to know that much.
Yeah, we're not going to be discussing your politics on
No,
this
no,
show,
no,
which,
no,
by
no.
the way, are becoming very concerning.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, she is older, right? She's
Oh
like
yeah,
13
she is.
and a half.
She does not give a shit anymore.
Yeah, the Mew is our cat. She's half bobcat, half Abyssinian, 25 pounds of loud ass bitch.
Yes. And adorable as hell.
Well, yes, I'm fond of her.
Yes, we love her very much.
She's fucking codependent on me, but that's okay. Yeah, no, we figured since Chucky can't be bothered, this is not the cat. I know you've already done some promotional material. Obviously, it's out now that people are listening to this. But you did a cat in a hat, like purposefully, because this is not the fucking cat.
Yeah, this is not the Cat in the Hat. It isn't.
No.
This is not the Cat in the Hat that I grew up with. This is
No.
not the book that I read as a kid and loved. Still
No.
to this day, not that I read it anymore,
Or
but
you're always in there.
I have very, very fond memories of Cat in the Hat. I mean,
Dude.
Dr. Seuss was big when I was a kid.
Absolutely, and the Cat in the Hat comes back. The sequel, I liked that.
And the book itself, I mean, how many generations has that managed to
Several.
withstand?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And who the hell talks about this movie anymore?
Us, apparently. Fucking losers like us. Oh, that's a good point, Mew. But, like, so, because as a kid, I didn't give a shit about Looney Tunes, Hanna-Barbera, whatever. I was raised on Jim Henson, Don Bluth, and Dr. Seuss. Like, that was, like, my shit,
Dr.
right?
Seuss was big in my childhood, too.
Oh, yeah. I had all the... I mean, my grandma was an English teacher. You know, like, reading is really big. I own a fucking publishing house now, right? Books were big in my house. And there's a unique quality to a lot of Dr. Seuss stuff that they...
First of all, they did not capture any Dr. Seuss charm in this movie at all.
To do it, and I fucking hate when people try and do the Seussian talk because they don't fucking get it right. Like the opening of this movie, you know, it's all in rhyme and kind of, but
Right.
like it's not right. It's not
Well,
charming.
they did the same
It's
thing
not
with the
witty.
Grinch movie. I mean,
Yeah.
but the thing is, like, okay, take a Dr. Seuss book.
Mhm.
Every Dr. Seuss book, the entire thing is written in rhyme.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of this thing.
Yes.
The movie, however, if this entire like
My God.
hour and 20-minute long movie was in rhyme, I would shoot myself in the head.
Yeah. No, I don't know. There were a couple of lines from the book scattered throughout.
Yeah.
Right? When it finally started raining and you know, there was no sun to shine. It was too wet to play, so they sat in the house all that cold wet day.
Right, right.
You know, that is from the book. There's a certain scene with the fucking nightmare cat and he's, you know, balanced on a ball and he's got like cake and he's got this and, you know, he's got all that. That is a picture from the book.
Right. Although
That's about it.
when they shot that scene in the movie,
Yeah.
it looked nothing like the Dr. Seuss style. Like How the Grinch Stole Christmas had a Dr. Seuss style to
It
it.
did.
You could tell that they
Yeah.
took inspiration from the drawings of
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
This did not. Like none of these characters in this movie, it looks like they didn't even really try to attempt. I mean, I
Thing one
guess
and
a little
thing
bit.
two are fucking fucking nightmares.
Oh yeah, those look
Holy shit!
those look like AI generated Rule 34 like nightmare monsters.
Rule 34.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. That was somebody's thing.
Oh no, Mew, is that what does it for you?
Yeah, really? Moving
Okay.
along.
No. Okay, well, yeah. This has a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way.
10?
10.
That's generous.
I know. Yeah, no. So do you really, are we doing the whole breakdown?
Yeah, okay, here's what we'll do with this one. Do we really need to go through step by step, scene by scene, what this movie is and break it down?
Really?
I mean, look, this is a hour and 20-minute long movie
Yeah.
that was based on a book that takes you three minutes to read.
For 5-year-olds.
Yes. So there's a lot of filler in this.
And none of the filler was good.
No, it's
right?
throwing jokes left and right at you, and it's trying to just put so many jokes out there that like you don't notice the bad ones.
Yeah.
But they're all bad.
Well,
so you notice them all.
I don't know. I think I said while we were watching this, I was like, this is secondhand embarrassment, the movie.
Yeah,
it was
is.
so hard to watch. Like,
first of all, let's get into Mike Myers here. Okay, Mike Myers, he is not the person for this role.
Well,
he is not.
No.
He has a very specific brand of humor that does not translate into a Dr. Seuss world.
I don't know.
It just doesn't.
How did this movie come about? Like,
because How the Grinch Stole Christmas was a hit.
Mike Myers. I mean, he was really popular at the
because
time.
He's okay. Here's why. Here's why. Jim Carrey, Canadian comedian.
Yeah.
Mike Myers,
Canadian comedian.
Yes, there you go. That's all they were looking at. Hey, that worked.
Well,
let's make it work here.
Well, and also when it came out in 2003, like
he
had a string of success, like Austin Powers,
Shrek.
It was Shrek. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty. He was.
I had already kind of moved out of because like I love Wayne's World, right? Like that's the Mike Myers I love. It's one of my favorite movies.
So ever. I Married an Axe Murderer.
Fantastic.
I loved him on SNL as a kid. He was my favorite part of SNL.
Yes. I loved that man. God, my sister had such a crush on him, and she was like way too young. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, I'm not going into detail about that, but yeah, he was one of my favorites.
Right.
I mean, I saw Wayne's World in theaters, far too young. My mom was horrified, had no fucking idea. It was the first PG-13 movie I saw.
I didn't see it until it was on video.
Oh, see, and I didn't understand most of the jokes at the time.
Yeah, I didn't
It's
either.
like later on you watch it. It's one of those things for me where I'm like, whoa, okay.
You're talking about the cream of some young guy?
The cream of some young guy, yeah. And even the ribbed for her pleasure.
Yeah,
I didn't know what the fuck that was. I was like 8. I don't know.
Right.
So, like, Austin Powers, I know you don't like Austin Powers.
I don't care for it. It overstayed its welcome.
Yeah.
If it was one movie and it was a hit for like a summer and then went away, I would probably like it more.
Well, it entered the zeitgeist like so big and heavy.
Well, also,
for a long time.
Disclaimer here. When that first Austin Powers movie came out, maybe it was the second one. I think it was the second movie.
The Spy Who Shagged Me?
Yes. I was working at a Spencer Gifts. And the entire store was Austin Powers. I saw his face on every fucking thing. The music playing in the goddamn... on the radio, every time I would come into work, that fucking theme song would be playing.
You love it.
In my 8-hour shift at that place, I probably heard that song, I don't know, 100 times at least.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah, it was all the fucking time with that. And the people coming in there quoting the goddamn movie at me.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it.
You're like, I make $5.25 an hour.
And then my asshole friends had the balls to ask me if I wanted to go see it in theaters. And I told them to go fuck themselves.
So, I mean, I think that's probably why he was at the top of his game. And I really do think like the Cat in the Hat and then, other things like the Love Guru and other, that kind of marked the downturn. And because he's not really different. Like, I mean, the Cat in the Hat is like Shrek and Austin Powers kind of combined, right? Or like kind of fat bastardy. I mean,
you're
like
gonna have to explain this.
His version of the Cat in the Hat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, his version.
The way he performs it is like just a couple of his other characters smashed together.
Yeah, and he's taking like tropes from other well-established cartoon cat characters.
Right.
Like Not that the Cowardly Lion is a cartoon, but
oh
I mean,
God, yeah.
there's
what the
Cowardly
fuck
Lion
was
in there.
That?
There's Snagglepuss.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
he's not consistent with the voice.
No
he's
one
not consistent
reined
with.
him in.
No, not at all.
No one
And,
reined him in.
well, and part of this is the director's fault too. I mean, the director is
absolutely
100% at fault here.
Absolutely.
Mike Myers is not doomed to fail.
No.
He just needs the right director.
He needs to be channeled properly, right? Because he is a wacky guy, right? He will just kind of riff and go off and do his shit.
Mhm.
And unless someone is there to go, all right, come on.
Well, in the
Here
book,
again.
The Cat in the Hat, right?
Yeah.
He was wacky, but he has some decorum to him.
He did.
He
yes.
was resigned.
Yeah.
He was very stoic in
It
a lot of the parts.
But he was kind of elegant in a clumsy way, if that makes any sense at all.
Right.
Because I grew up watching, there was also a cartoon, you know, like I had a tape that had like the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, absolutely.
It had the Sneetches. It had, you know, like different Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs and Ham.
Yep.
And that is my Cat in the Hat. Like when I think of, I thought they did a really good job with that. And that is just the book turned into a cartoon.
Mhm.
But the performance and everything, like he is a little slick, a little, you know, like, haha, but it's not, why is he so sexual in this movie?
Oh yeah, he is horned up
It is
in this film.
Oh.
So is Alec Baldwin.
Oh God, yeah. What the fuck? He's a mess. He's an absolute mess in
But
this.
yes, the reason I said that, you know, the book version of The Cat in the Hat
Yeah.
is a little more dignified.
Yeah, to a point, yes.
Mike Myers in this is not. His dignity is left at the fucking door when he came onto the set that day.
Yeah.
I don't know where he got this character's motives, inspiration. There's costume changes. He's at some point isn't he doing like the Macarena or some shit?
Well, I know he was Carmen Miranda for a minute. And then he turned into a matador. And then he drank a bunch of milk and burped.
Yeah.
I wrote those notes down. These are my notes.
Yes,
for
and
this
all of this,
fucking
by the
thing.
way, is done
What?
in the worst type of CG because it's that early 2000
It's
shit
bad,
where it's
bad,
like,
bad.
for the time, I guess it was mind blowing, maybe.
I don't.
But
I don't like his eyelashes.
Yeah, his eyelashes
are beautiful. Like I'm
yes.
jealous of his eyelashes.
they piss me the fuck off.
I would look great with those eyelashes.
That is,
But what are they doing with the cat?
yeah, I want to punch his eyelashes.
No, don't. Just give them to me.
His whole costume is just, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
too much. It's too bulky too, because the original cat
it's
was kind of
real awkward.
slender.
Yes, he was.
And this one is not. He's just kind of, he
He's
kind of looks like a
dumpy.
furry.
Well, I don't know. What do you think, Neil? Yeah. No, like when it comes to the costume. Like as a cat.
Does it do it for you?
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, me either.
No. I mean, do you, okay, I guess this is your place, like we're giving you a platform to speak out on behalf of all cats. Like, how do you feel? Is this adequate representation? You know, how do you feel about it? Okay. I mean,
It tracks.
yeah, no, definitely. I just wanted to see because we don't hear from cats enough, right? As far as I know, have you ever heard a cat on a podcast?
No, I haven't till now, but
No,
I
you're
mean,
right. It is overdue. That's right.
She makes a good point. I mean, cats are unique, right?
Absolutely.
So,
And dignified, even with their, well, we won't go into your personal business, Neil.
I don't know what was
But-
worse, the Cats movie or this.
Well, I didn't watch the cats.
At least in this, there's one cat,
I refuse to.
and he only
refuse to
introduces
watch
himself
that.
once, and it's just not just a string of cats introducing themselves.
Yeah. I don't know. The theming of this movie is real fucking weird, man. Because there's like themes of like this kid. Because like Dakota Fanning is one of the kids, and then there's this boy who's like the other kid.
Conrad.
Obviously, yes. Conrad
And
Sally. And their mother Joan. Their mother has a boyfriend, Alec Baldwin.
Who was the neighbor?
He's the neighbor, but also the boyfriend. But he like hates the son and wants to
Yes.
send him to military
Yeah,
school.
he is horned up to get this kid out, shipped off to
there's-
military school.
There's this scene towards the beginning where the mom has to go back to work because whatever, there's going to be a party. It doesn't fucking matter. The plot does not matter.
No, not at all.
I don't even care to talk about it that much. But there's a scene in which she's like basically telling her son, like, don't fuck up the house.
Right. So
People are coming over.
the movie opens with her boss. She's at work.
Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes plays her boss.
Mr. Humberfloob. Because that's their fucking idea of what Dr. Seuss is.
Right.
Fuck
But
you.
he is explaining to her that she is to host a party, their annual party for
That
work
night.
that night at her house.
Yeah.
And if it goes like it did the last time, she's going to be fired. Because
Right.
the last time, her son Conrad ruined the party.
We assume.
Yes, somehow he ruined the party.
Yeah, because I don't know, he's always acting out. But no, like she goes home and then she has to come back to work and it doesn't matter. They need some kind of reason for her to be out of the house for the Cat in the Hat to happen, right?
Right. The babysitter, I think, cancels on her, so she has to go back home to be with the kids.
Yeah, and then she gets
And
another
while she's at
one,
home,
and
her boss calls her and says, "We need you to come back into the office."
Yeah.
So then she calls another babysitter to
who
come
just
and watch the
probably
kids.
falls asleep. Whatever. No, what I'm trying to get to is she's about to leave and she's telling him, like, don't fuck up the house. And they get into this fight that does not belong in a Cat in the Hat movie where he is like, I wish I had a different mom.
Her
And
response
she's
is wild.
like, sometimes I wish that too. Like,
Or something like that. Or
like
so
that.
do I.
Yeah.
And it's like, you wish you didn't have a mom?
I wish you weren't my kid.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this kind of shit doing in a
Well, yeah,
Dr.
I mean,
Seuss movie?
First of all,
what?
any parent out there, when your kid says something like
You
that, your
don't
response
say
is, no,
that shit.
not at all.
Even if you think it.
Because even if you say that shit
Oh my
to them,
God. That is their
there's no
forever.
way later on that they're going to feel bad when they say it to you again.
Yeah, no. That will come out on their therapist couch when they're 25.
Yep, absolutely.
No, you don't say that shit. But I don't know, because it was kind of like in Home Alone where Kevin's like, I wish all you guys would disappear. And she's like, well, maybe you better be careful.
Exactly. That's the response.
Yeah.
That's
I'm sorry you
be
feel that
careful
way.
what you
That's
wish
terrible.
for. You just might get it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Catherine O'Hara is way better than Kelly Preston.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways.
So at this point,
Yeah.
she's got the babysitter there who looks like Bobby Lee in drag.
Yeah, or kind of like
who's extremely
kind of like Mimi from Drew Carey. Miss Kwan, she I don't know.
She's a narcoleptic.
She is, yeah. She's watching the Taiwanese parliament on TV and falls asleep, whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's who it was. That's what I was trying to. We decided while we were watching this, his version of the Cat in the Hat is Linda Richmond, who's one of his characters from SNL.
Yeah, yes, the coffee talk
mixed
that's
with
in
Cowardly
there.
Lion.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
That is fucking terrifying.
Yep. And like I said, every once in a while you'll hear a Snagglepuss or a Garfield.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you nailed
Sometimes
it.
some fat bastard, sometimes some Shrek. Like the accent changes. It sometimes he's like more, Linda Richmond, the Jersey, New York, like, that type of Boston, whatever that.
Well, and he's constantly like winking at the camera, like, huh? Get it? Huh? Yeah, and in true Mike Myers fashion. I mean, he breaks the fourth wall all the time in like Wayne's World. You know what I mean?
But it's effective there.
Yeah,
It's
it
funny.
works. It doesn't
It's
work here
great.
because
I love him. What the fuck are you doing, guy?
the viewer of this movie should not be brought into this world. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be there.
We don't need to be addressed.
No.
We need to be entertained.
But no, anyways, it doesn't really, dude, literally this shit doesn't matter. Because like, they hear a bump in the closet. The kids go and find it. Hijinks ensue. This whole fucking movie, like, I mean, I guess there's a moral at the end, but then it doesn't make any sense because the kids finally, like, because Dakota Fanning is like super controlling and making lists, and she learns to relax a little, and the brother's a little
He's out of
shit,
control.
and he learns to rein it in a bit.
He does stunts in the house. He breaks shit.
Yeah.
He tears up the kitchen just
And
to be an
Alec
asshole,
Baldwin's
apparently.
just there to like.
To get horned up for the mom.
Yeah, it's fucking gross, man.
Yeah. It's real gross.
Yeah.
His character in this movie is very off-putting.
It's extremely so. He gets covered in goo.
This is also one of those characters that just would never exist in a movie today.
Yeah, no way. Dude, I don't often agree with, like, maybe we could just leave him out.
Yeah, I agree.
Altogether.
That whole like subplot with her the mom having a boyfriend and the office party and shit, like none of that should even be in this movie.
Well, no, literally all that is like in the book, their mom's at work.
Yeah.
So they're home on a rainy day, and they have to like find shit to do in the house because they can't leave because it's gross outside.
Yeah, and they're bored.
Yeah. And
The cat shows
comes
up.
and they have fun and then fuck up the house and then they go, uh-oh, and then they clean the house.
But they also learn a lesson.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they do kind of in this, but then at the very end, it's completely undone unless the mom learns a lesson too.
It's
but
forced
she doesn't
too.
need to learn a lesson because they do all that and then they're like jumping on the couch, all three of them at the end of the movie in the parlor, which, what the fuck? But why did she need to learn a lesson? Unless she just realized she was an absolute bitch for telling her son she wished that he wasn't hers?
Maybe, but she doesn't seem like a deadbeat mother or anything.
No,
she
tries.
She goes
She's
to
a fucking
work.
single
She makes
mother.
sure that
She's
they are taken
trying
care of.
hard.
She tries to parent them the best that she can.
Yeah.
Which, Sally's fine, but Conrad doesn't listen.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't even know what all to talk about with this movie.
Well, I mean, that's the setup, right?
Yeah.
The setup is that the kids are now left home alone.
Yeah,
They hear
there's
a
bump in the closet.
They hear a bump in the closet, and this is the gotcha moment, right? They slowly open the door,
There's a lot of those in this movie.
and like
misdirection.
yes.
Shit.
And then Conrad acts like he's being pulled into the closet and
Right, that's a
then
good point,
disappears. And Sally is concerned and then he scares her.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they turn around, there's the cat. So it's like the gotcha
And
moment.
then they like run around the house like screaming.
Yeah,
for,
'cause
like,
they're afraid.
10 minutes.
And he's just like, yeah,
All
run and scream, run and
across
scream.
The house, under the bed. Like it goes on for so long.
Yeah. This entire movie goes on for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's true. So, Lawrence, that's his name. The boyfriend's name is Lawrence.
He's Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. And then the fish, which is in the book, is also Sean Hayes for some reason?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Which
the fish is barely in it. He's just kind of like the voice of reason.
He is.
Right?
And that's what he played, in the book as well. He's like, you should not be doing this
You're
when your
above
mother
this.
is out.
You're above doing this. Stop.
Yeah,
Stop right now.
Stop. Help. No.
He's annoying.
Well, but he's not in the book or the cartoon, but he is in this.
Yeah.
And he looks his eye. He again that era of CG. The eyes are fucking weird. And
he's way too cartoony looking. He doesn't look anything like the fish in the book.
No, except he's orange.
And it's done with that really bad CGI that no pun intended, but they had like a fisheye filter on him or something, and they get him way too close to the camera.
Yeah, I don't know.
When CG is that bad, you don't want it that noticeable.
No,
that up close, that in your face.
Yeah, and this whole movie
badly
is
done.
So in your face with every fucking thing.
Yeah, it's way too colorful. The whole thing, like even when they're making a mess in the house still looks way too clean. You know what I mean? It's too shiny.
Well, and the house itself and the world around it is all Susian, which doesn't make sense.
And everyone is driving Ford Focus hatchbacks.
This is why this shit doesn't fucking make sense, and why whoever made this goddamn piece of shit movie did not understand Dr. Seuss at the most basic level. The whole point was they had a normal, basic, perfectly fine house. Their world, nothing magical about it.
Right.
It wasn't fucking Humberflube and green and purple and yahoo, so wacky. How the fuck does the Cat in the Hat stand out if that's their normal fucking life?
Yeah.
It should be
weird.
Regular. Yes, the cat should be an oddity. And they did this weird fucking Susie Rockwell type like world.
Yeah.
And why?
The streets are way too crowded. Every time they're like in the neighborhood, there's way too many fucking people walking around, driving around. Everybody's got the same Ford Focus hatchback that's the fucking like neon green, almost yellow color. I don't know what to make of this.
Everything in the house is fucking weird. The colors.
The layout of the house is weird.
The layout of the house is real weird.
They have 3 living rooms.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, they got a living room. Then they've got like a TV room. They've got a parlor.
You don't see any of the bedrooms. They never go in a bedroom.
Only briefly to run away from the cat at the beginning, because when he was like, "Yeah, run,"
oh, that's right. They do go under the bed.
But no. I don't, the whole point was this dichotomy between the normal everyday and the fantastic, right? And the cat and thing 1 and thing 2 are fantastic. And they bring a little bit of chaos and like awesome chaos into their lives.
Excitement. Because they're bored.
But they're living in a fucking Toys R Us or so, like some kind of weird Build-A-Bear, like fucking... It's kind of like, you know, the neighborhood in Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of like...
Where everything is just cookie cutter, bright and colorful, and just kind of sterile and still.
But
with the exception of the people and the cars.
Because it's kind of a play on that Norman Rockwell life. And also you've got Edward, who is the dark and weird. Like, he stands out in that situation. So that's why that works there and doesn't fucking work here at all. It's garbage. I don't like it. Thank you. I'm glad she said it. I just, dude, there's some things that they really just do have to.
You've never even been outside of the house. How do you know our neighborhood doesn't look like that?
No, that's true. We have moved a couple of times, and she definitely lets it be known that she does not like going outside.
I'll give you a pass on that, I suppose.
No. All right, that's going a little far. So, but no, like most of this movie, like once the cat's here and they stop running around screaming, like I said, he's Carmen Miranda for a while. Then he's a matador. There's an elephant in the couch and he fights the couch, like the couch elephant.
Yeah, because they need a lot of filler in this to turn a 3-minute book into an hour and 20-minute movie.
I don't know, man. It would make more sense to me. I don't know. We also get peeks of like the world where the cat comes from. In this, like through the crate, once they went
right at some point, the crate gets out of control. We'll get to that.
I'm not mad at that. Like, I would be more interested in that.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, one of the things too about this movie that like really kind of rubs me the wrong way is that when this thing came out, like they had the audacity to like make a video game and merchandise as if anybody was like super into that. Like, I don't know a single fucking person that would have went and saw this in theaters and said, "Mom, take me to Toys R Us and get me the fucking PlayStation 2 game."
Yeah, isn't that what the Grumps played with Dan Harmon?
Yes, they did a while back.
The cat in the hat game. Yeah.
And it's as stupid as this movie. Like, everything about this is just wrong. Like, they tried to market it, it failed. They tried to put merchandise out there, no one bought it. I mean, look, I say the movie failed because it had no staying power, right? It was a success, meaning that it made money in the theaters. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It did make money.
It's infamous for being one of those, like, oh my God.
Yeah. Movies. Yeah. It's definitely like on the list of every like worst movies made in the past 20 years. Cat in the Hat is on there. Somewhere, yeah. Especially if you go and look at like
more than 20 years.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
It's been 21. Yeah. Oh,
there you go. But
yeah, well, you wouldn't know, Mew. You weren't there. I don't know. I know what you mean, though, and I don't know who did this and why.
I don't even know who directed this. I didn't bother looking.
I didn't look it up. I don't know.
But
Nevins. They have a dog. I just looked down at my notes and saw the word Nevins. They have a dog.
I completely forgot about that fucking dog.
Yeah, me too.
And he actually has kind of a big role in it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Look, this movie is so forgettable. Everything about this, like, they say a joke, you forget it by the time they're on to the next one.
For what it's worth, 3 times in these notes, well, it starts off with, I fell asleep. And then
I fell asleep. I had to wake you up. I had to wake you up 3 different times. And you're the one taking notes, so this is going to go well.
Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't. I mean, look.
Not with this movie.
This movie has a particular structure to it. It's got 3 things going on, essentially, one of which is the main plot of the book.
Yeah.
Then you've got the side plots with the office party happening, which really just kind of bookends the movie. Because it's not even a thing in the middle of it.
It's just the reason why they're left alone. The house fucked up and why they're left alone.
And then you've also got Alec Baldwin playing the neighbor that's trying his best
like
to
sneaks into the house at one point.
Yeah, he just comes over.
Like has beer and like burps at them.
Why, first of all, by the way, this is her boyfriend. They say that in the movie.
Yes.
Why wouldn't she call him to come watch the kids?
Oh, no. If you remember, he told her he had a meeting. He was going to work. And he got in the car and watched her drive away.
No, I didn't remember that.
He got out of the car and went back in the house.
It's very hard to remember anything about this movie.
I know. I have a note.
That's right.
Here.
Yes, and he went back home and takes off his like. He has a girdle.
Yeah. No, because he like just walks into the house. Like, why wouldn't he expect the kids to tell the mom? I guess he's like, well, she wouldn't believe you anyways. Maybe not Conrad, but she'd believe Sally.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he like drinks beer and burps at them and is just like, I fucking dare you. I mean, he doesn't curse, but like,
yeah. And then at some point he just comes over because he wants a sandwich.
That's what I'm saying. He comes in, makes a sandwich, comes back out with beer and burps at them like in their faces and then leaves. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Again, Alec Baldwin, what the fuck? What?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you could chalk that up to like they are young kids. They're probably just like, well, this is just how adults act when they're together.
I don't think so. Sally,
they didn't seem too worried about it.
She is extremely like mature, like overly mature
but
for her age.
Conrad and Alec Baldwin hate each other.
Well, yeah, they're vying for
Sally
the
is just kind of there, like, man, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's too busy making lists and whatever.
Yeah, planning out her day.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So you want to talk about thing 1 and thing 2?
Not really.
Okay, so skipping that.
I mean, I guess we have to, right?
No, we don't have to.
So after about half an hour of wackiness with the cat, right?
Yeah, they make cupcakes.
He's juggling dishes. He's got
the
cupcakeinator that he's.
Great.
There's like a fucking like
a TV infomercial.
Yeah, he does it in like infomercial style with like multiple versions of him doing the commercial while they're sitting on the couch and watching it with him.
There's several times in the movie where there's multiple versions of the cat.
Never happened in the book.
Well, no, and it's never explained as to how though.
He's wacky. That's all you got to know. He's the wackiest, and he can just make shit happen.
See, Dr. Seuss worked because it was intentionally strange or quirky.
But it was resigned. It was rained down. It was told
like I said,
very well.
Purposefully so. Well crafted. This is just throw shit at a wall.
Right. But with the book, not only could you read it and get something out of it story-wise, but you could just flip through and look at the art.
Dude, I spent so much time as a kid looking at the art in Dr. Seuss books.
Yes, a lot of my artwork has probably been inspired by Dr. Seuss in some way.
My mom too, because my mom's an artist too, and she loves to do the little like weird little creaturey things. And
but this movie,
hop on pop.
This movie sounds terrible. It looks terrible. It smells terrible. It tastes terrible. I hate the fucking way I feel watching it. It is offensive to all of my senses, including that 6th one that we don't talk about.
No, what are you talking about? No, we don't.
This movie, you can't get anything out of it by listening to it. You can't get anything out of it by looking at it. Nothing about this movie has any kind of value, like the book did.
No, it's really offensive to me. Like, truthfully, it really was. And also,
especially since like it was done so well in other cases, right? This came out in a string of Dr. Seuss releases. Like I mentioned before, The Grinch Stole Christmas, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Then you had this. The Lorax at some point was a thing.
The Lorax was decent.
Horton Hears a Who, which they got Jim Carrey back for because they were like, well,
I didn't watch that one.
Maybe that was the magic
cartoon again. I mean, that one at least was a cartoon. It was like
that is what these should have been.
Style. Yeah.
These should have been a Pixar style movie. And honestly, I think it would have been cool if they just had Jim Carrey be the star of all of them.
I would have been fine with that. Well, like Jim Carrey, the live action Grinch worked because it's Jim Carrey. And like nothing against Mike Myers again, but
it's the face.
He is a cartoon. Yes.
You have to have the facial expressions.
Even through
the body
all
language.
Of that makeup, he still sold like the fucking face.
You have to have the confidence to pull that off.
Yeah. Well, and Mike Myers was not lacking in confidence. He needed direction.
I think he was on speed. I think they just pumped him full of a bunch of speed and said, go.
As like a supposition. No, it's just, I'm trying to be kind because I do like Mike Myers, okay?
Yeah.
I think that maybe his strengths are best utilized elsewhere. And this was not him being so free reign. This was not good.
Well, and it's
sorry.
also like,
I love you. I'm sorry.
he's also trying to like inject his brand of humor into this character, which is just weird and off-putting because Mike Myers has a very specific humor to him.
Yes.
He is of Gen X.
Yeah.
He was a major Gen X comedian.
Absolutely.
Back in the 90s for sure, but like maybe
and
the
a
late
lot
80s.
of like double entendre and stuff like that.
Right. A lot of winking at the camera, like, get the joke, huh?
Yeah.
There you go. You love it, don't you?
As Wayne Campbell, that fucking works.
It does not work here.
It doesn't work here.
It doesn't, because children watching this movie, even back in 2003, would have been so far removed from his brand of humor.
100%, well, unless they would know him as Shrek.
Right,
Okay.
but they probably wouldn't even know that.
Well, I don't know that they would know him as Shrek, but because Shrek, I mean,
They
it
would
was
know who
popular
Shrek is
at
if they
the
were
time.
watching this,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But they probably wouldn't have connected they're the same
probably
people.
not.
But it doesn't work here just because of the disconnect between the Gen X humor and then I guess this would have been considered millennial.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's like a generation there that this is not really. But I can't really say that either because I'm a millennial. You're a millennial.
Yeah.
We grew up with Mike Myers, so it was like
millennials.
Yeah. So this would definitely be the younger millennials that
This is my brother.
Yeah.
You
This
know,
is
born
acid
in
into
95.
Yes.
So, you know.
This is that age demographic.
Yeah.
There's no way that Mike Myers was even on their radar.
No, Kaylin did not watch this.
Exactly. And I can't even say that anybody would have watched this movie because Mike Myers was in it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was Austin Powers. Yes, he was Shrek. But like, I don't remember anyone talking about this movie when it came out.
I don't remember hearing anything good about it.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody say a good thing about it.
All I remember is people seeing the trailer and going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
then not going to see it.
Right.
That's what I
mean, they did though, because
until you brought this into my life.
It did make money, but that was worldwide, not domestic. I don't have the statistics in front of me. I looked it up. It made a few $1 million.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a reason I never saw it. You know, I knew I wasn't going to like it. There's no possible way I could have.
At this point in my life too, like going to the theaters to see a Dr. Seuss movies wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? You have that.
I mean, depending on the movie, I might.
You have that like that window of your life, right? Where you're just kind of too cool for the shit you used to like. And then when you get older.
Oh, you mean in 2003?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 2003.
I was drinking.
So was I. No, I mean, I wasn't because I wasn't 21.
Yeah. I mean,
I certainly wasn't.
I was drinking.
Water.
Yeah.
Gatorade.
I was also getting high, like super fucking high.
Yeah, I don't really do that. But no, 2003. I mean, I graduated high school in 2002. So I was not going to see the Cat in the Hat movie. No,
this was not something that interested me at all, ever in my life.
I was already super into like Studio Ghibli and, you know, stuff like that by this point.
Yeah, 2003.
I was already firmly in my anime.
This probably, for me, it probably would have been like, you know, The Matrix.
Was
that
big?
Late?
That was like 99, 2000.
No, like the Matrix movies, the trilogy, the final one came out.
Was cool.
Yeah, this is that era of movie. Then also there were all those horror movies like, you know, House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah,
13
that was
Ghosts.
99, 2000. House on Haunted Hill. That dude, I fucking love all those goddamn movies.
Yeah, at this point, I was probably still watching Fight Club or American Psycho.
Yeah.
But this was not something that I had any interest in now or then or ever, and probably.
I don't think I was seeing a lot of movies at that time. I was always out with friends.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Same. I mean, I probably did, because that's when 2003 is when that remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out that I went and saw.
It's the year before we met.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It has been. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing before I met you? Yeah, watching like Studio Ghibli and, you know, getting drunk a lot.
What were you doing in 2003, Mew?
You're right. You were -8.
-8.
She was -8. Not doing fuck all. Lazy ass Mew.
So, back to the film. We got
Do we
off.
have to?
We don't have to. And we
Okay.
shouldn't, but...
Oh, Paris Hilton's in this.
Oh, for 3 seconds.
Yeah, why?
I seriously hope she got like $80 million for that
She
role.
probably did. I mean, this was Simple Life a thing at that point?
I mean, Paris Hilton was definitely a thing at this point.
Well,
House
the
of
sex
Wax.
tape had happened.
She was
House
al-
of Wax was 2005, I thought.
Was it? I don't know. She was in things. She was definitely a known personality.
Yeah.
She had reality shows, I'm
Do
sure.
you remember that disgusting Carl's Jr. commercial?
Yes,
So
I do.
Sloppy.
Yeah.
Was that sexy?
No.
Like, genuinely, like,
No.
as a man who finds women attractive.
I have never found Paris Hilton to be attractive anyway. At all.
I just thought it was gross.
Yeah. Yeah,
I guess
I
it's
find her to
supposed
be
to
very
be.
off-putting.
No. I just meant the sloppiness of the burger.
Mhm.
Like that whole just like, and it's like falling. Whatever. Yes. I'm not trying to.
I think
not
at this
talk about
point-
movie at all.
2003, it was her sex tape released.
That's what I thought.
Did that get leaked? Because
I don't
I've definitely
remember.
seen that and it's gross.
You have?
Oh, yeah.
I did not. I was like, nah, I'm good. I saw Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee's.
Oh, yeah. That's old
I saw
news.
that. Yeah, well, yes.
Th-
as is the
that was
Paris
like-
Hilton sex tape.
That was like the first one.
I
right?
know. That's why I saw it. But, you know, I was like, I don't care about Paris Hilton's butt. or
No,
boobs
not at
or
all.
Blowjob or whatever. Like, okay, cool. It does not.
She's
affect
bad
me.
at it too, by the way.
You would know.
She looked really bad at it.
Oh, okay. My goodness, we're spinning some
Back
hot
to the
takes.
movie.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, okay, so the crate shows up. Thing 1 and Thing 2 come out. They're fucking nightmares that don't act like Thing 1 and Thing 2.
No, they don't look like them either. This is one of those
No.
things where they don't, like a Dr. Seuss character, like a 2-dimensional drawing of a character. If done properly, if done well and handled with care, it can look great in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, sure.
And they failed on that.
Yes.
Because these look terrible. They have like their upper lip is way too big.
Yeah.
Their face is misshapen. Their hair is awful,
Well,
and it's like
kind of did a similar thing to what they did with the Who's in the Grinch. They kind of almost look like mouse people in a way. Like they look
Right.
strange.
it looks to me like these are.
But they did a bad job here.
It looks to me like these are real people with prosthetics
They are.
that they like put into a 3D rendering
'cause
software.
aren't they weirdly like? They're weirdly. God, I don't know how to describe.
They're too like
They're 2D, 3D. Like it's
Yeah.
like video game shit where it's like rounded. Like
yeah, it's
they're-
almost like it
it's
has
3
like
dimensions,
a
but flat somehow. I don't. Their faces are fucking weird, and when they turn,
yeah, it's just like
it's not right.
it's like a skin
yeah,
that's been put on
yeah,
a 3D
but it's live
object.
action.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they're constantly going back and forth between like CG versions because they're hopping around,
yeah.
they're spinning around, they're creating tornadoes of trash and shit in the house.
Yes.
They're flinging shit everywhere.
Yeah.
They're getting paint
the
all over
purple
everything.
Stuff. Yeah.
So they're constantly moving. And
Yeah.
they just fluctuate between people in prosthetics and these 3D CGI rendered
Yeah.
monstrosities.
Well, and then sometimes
And there's
it
no
just seems like it's
consistency.
real people, but they like running around, but then they just sped it up.
Their
real fast.
size changes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're bigger than they should be. Sometimes they're smaller than they should be. Their perspective on them is off at all times. It's done terribly.
It's really disconcerting. Like they genuinely creeped me out. Like,
Yeah, they are
this is
unsettling.
Uncanny Valley shit.
Yes. Yeah,
I
they
did not like looking.
This
at
is
them.
like what you see. This is like a paralysis demon
Yeah,
at the end of your bed.
yeah.
You can't
'Cause,
move.
like,
All you can do is stare into its
for all
fucking
you can,
unflinching eyes.
we can talk shit all day long about Mike Myers' performance as the cat. At least it's practical. Like he's in a suit. He's got
Yeah.
makeup on.
He is CG on occasion.
a little bit.
They tried their
But-
best to make it practical.
But he, as much as I don't like what he did with the Cat in the Hat, he's not terrifying to look at, really. Right? At least
his teeth and his
Well.
eyelashes together.
I mean, in comparison.
Did the Cat in the Hat in the book even have teeth?
I
don't
mean, it's
remember
not
him
really
having
brought
teeth.
Up.
I'm sure he did, but
I don't
like
know.
I have no idea. I can't even. I
It's just like the cat mouth. you
yeah.
know, like the.
But there's just something about his teeth that just really irritate me in this too, because
they're
they're
human.
Well, and he's like flashing them constantly. The way he talks, they're just like right there in your face.
Yeah. Well, I just mean like in comparison, if he's just standing there, he is a person in a suit.
Yeah.
Whereas Thing 1 and Thing 2 are not of this or any other world. I don't know.
No, they come from a crate that he brings.
I mean, just
that he
the way
pulls
they
out of his hat.
look. Because they're not practical. They're not CG. They're both and they're neither. And
Yeah, it's there's no consistency with the character.
I genuinely don't like looking at them.
And that could be what's adding to the unsettling
Maybe.
feeling you get looking at these
Probably.
things, because yeah,
It's the wrong.
it is definitely like a mix of Uncanny Valley and then just like creepypasta.
Yeah. No, you are not wrong. I don't know, man. Yeah, so in my notes I have Thing 1 and Thing 2 are fucking nightmares. Conrad looks in the crate portal between worlds.
We did fail to mention, like, before the cat even gets started with his wacky shenanigans, he has him sign a contract.
Oh yeah.
And then the contract, basically, it's a stack of papers that no one could
With
possibly ever
lawyers.
read.
There's
Yes, he's got his
lawyers there.
lawyers there. He's asking him to sign these things, and he's telling him that this just means that we can have all the fun that we want to have, and there's no repercussions.
Right. Yes.
When we're done having fun, we'll return the house back to normal,
Yep.
and I'll be on my way.
Yep.
So that's kind of important, I guess.
Yeah, technically.
So now Conrad is 100% on board. Sally is not.
No.
She's still kind of resigned because she's like, no, Mom said we can't go and jump on the couch.
Yeah.
Mom said we can't go in the living room. She's
Yeah.
still like trying to talk him out of it. And he's just like, go ahead, go be not fun somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and like they make a mess, and the cat gets the mom's dress out of the closet that she was going to wear to the party to clean up. The
that she
cupcake
specifically
mess.
said, do
and then,
not
like,
ruin my dress.
Oh no, and
That's what he uses to wipe up the mess that
from the cupcakes.
yeah, because the cupcakeinator, God,
He put it in the oven.
exploded.
Yeah,
And it got cupcake shit everywhere.
cupcake shit.
So Thing 1 and Thing 2 are now like there to like help, I guess, clean up. So
In
they grab.
theory.
That's when they grab her dress and they start wiping it
No,
up.
cat does.
Does he?
He does, because he's like, huh, and they're like, what? It's this whole like, huh?
Oh,
Huh?
yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
thing. Conrad sees in the crate that it's a portal between worlds. It goes into the cat's world, and cat's like, dude, you can't look in there.
It's got a lock on it.
Yeah,
He picks
He
the lock
locks
while the cat is distracted.
yeah,
And he opens up the box, which is just this interdimensional portal into like
into the cat's world.
Yeah, the cat's hellscape of a life that he lives.
Yeah. But basically then I don't know, Thing 1 and Thing 2 are like let loose. The kids get nets to try and catch them.
Yeah.
And then
To be fair, they do in the book.
no, they do. Do they? They get nets to try
I believe
and
they
catch
get
Thing 1 and Thing
nets
2?
to try to catch him. Or the cat does. Somebody
Oh.
does. I think there are nets involved.
Then I fell asleep. And then they are outside running through yards. What does this say? Oh, kids think he's a piñata.
Yep.
Okay, so that happened. I really don't think, like, I'm telling you, man, this sounds
Well, that's the
super
thing, too, 'cause,
disjointed,
like, look.
what?
Can people see him or can't they? Because some people act like they don't see him.
Yeah.
Other people can clearly see him because one kid, the one that thinks he's a piñata, walks up and like smacks him in the balls with a bat.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're treated to a like my balls hurt
Yeah.
montage.
Yeah. Which is what every child's movie needs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cat gets a car and they get in. What? Boyfriend has dog. Peed on his taco.
Yes.
Okay, these are my notes. I'm telling you, this sounds just completely like disjointed. It is. I am giving you the movie experience. This is what I experienced.
Neil, have you ever or would you ever pee on a taco?
No, that does sound kind of wrong. You're right.
Wait. Yeah, that's good to know. Thanks. Could have told me before I ate the taco.
Get fucked. Good job, you. Mew W. Chad L.
God damn it.
Yeah, okay, so I guess Lawrence had Nevins
The dog runs away.
Okay.
Nevins is the dog, apparently.
Yeah, Nevins is the dog.
I wouldn't have known that.
I wrote it down.
He runs away, and he has the lock to the box, the crate, around on his collar.
The little like crab
Yeah,
lock.
the lock is a crab, so it's like a crab. It's literally a crab that locks the box closed. It's
Chad,
stupid, but that's what it is. So after Conrad picks the lock, it runs away and it locks onto the dog's collar.
Onto Nevins. Okay.
And the dog runs away. So now they got to go catch the fucking dog.
Why did he pee on his taco? Where is this taco?
It was in his seat.
Okay. Oh, they crashed the car and see Lawrence. Okay. I fell asleep again.
Oh my God, this is going well.
Dude, this is the movie. Okay. They go inside a pillar and it's a club. Paris Hilton is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and this club is like Cat in the Hat themed, right? Everyone's wearing Cat in the Hat hats. They've all got the like white and red stripes on everything, everywhere. There's celebrities in attendance. Yes, Paris Hilton is one of them.
Yeah. They go inside a pillar.
Yes, it's a pillar. What are you not understanding?
Well, I fell asleep after the taco peeing incident and woke up at the pillar.
Uh-huh.
Were they in the crate?
No.
This is just the real world?
Well,
how do they go inside a pillar?
What is happening here is the contents of the crate are coming into their world.
Oh, because it's open because it's not locked.
Right.
Yes,
okay. There you go. And then at some point it creates like a tornado vortex that sucks everything into it.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay. What does that even say?
But yeah, it's distorting their reality at this point. It's warping things in and out. So there's the normalcy of their city mixed with the wackiness of the cat's world happening.
Okay.
And that's how they walk into a pillar.
I literally don't know what this word is that I wrote.
Is it from the movie?
Well, it's Conrad dash. Here, it's right here. Hold on. What is this? What the fuck does this mean?
Opposite?
I thought it kind of looked
It's
like
because
opposite.
they learned that thing 1 and thing 2 do the opposite of what you tell them.
Oh, okay. Dude, we are decoding things. This is becoming more interesting.
So that's the thing is like every time they tell thing 1 and thing 2, hey, help,
right.
stop, don't do that. They do the opposite of what you tell them.
Things don't help us. Okay. And then Lawrence is taking the mom home. Okay, then they pull mom over. Chad laughed. I wrote that you laughed because I was like, I am noting
the
this.
only reason is
laughed at
because
this
it was
movie.
It was so fucking stupid.
Uh-huh. You want to set the scene?
I kind of only half-ass remember what it was. It was the language because thing 1 and thing 2 were talking to them like they're police officers, pulling them over, and it was just like gibberish. They were just speaking gibberish, but it was just like ID. Insurance. It's just,
and you were like,
I don't know why, but it was just like, yeah, okay.
Do you think you were just like losing it?
Yeah, probably. I was very tired when I watched this movie.
Yeah, no, me too. And we didn't even watch it like super late at night or anything. I think my brain just shut down.
This movie wears you out.
Yeah, it's exhausting. It really is. Yeah, well, all you do
talking about it is wearing me out. Yeah, I can't stay on track here.
No, I keep rubbing my eyes. God. Yeah, Chad laughed. Crate is open and house pink bubble stuff.
House pink, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Pink bubble stuff everywhere. They all get home, house is clean. Larry is...
All right, so look, we can go ahead and back up a little bit here with the crate. So the dog runs away with the lock on its collar. That's why Lawrence, is that Alec Baldwin's character?
Alec Baldwin, yeah.
Lawrence finds the dog.
Lawrence and Larry.
And
the mom calls him Lawrence. And
right. He's driving to the mom's job to bring the dog to show her that they have let the dog out of the house and that they are causing problems in the neighborhood.
This is not how a grown man acts.
No,
look what they did.
Yes, exactly. So that's why the dog is in his seat, and I guess he stops and gets a taco or something. That's why the dog pisses on his taco.
He eats so much.
And then he fucking puts it in his face and smells it. Like, what are you expecting here? Are you expecting it to not smell like dog piss?
Maybe he was trying to decide if it was worth it.
Would you?
No, I am not.
If a dog pissed on my taco, it's going out of the window. Like, I'm not even gonna.
The dog or the taco?
Both. They're both going out of the window.
Yeah, you're right. We wouldn't do that to you. Because then, it says
that is his entire plan here. Is he's supposed to take the dog to show the mom that the kids are causing problems,
and Conrad needs to go to military school.
Yes, he's already been showing brochures to the mom.
Yeah,
and trying to talk her into sending Conrad to military school, and she's
about it.
She's on the fence. She's like, well, maybe it would be good for him because he doesn't listen to me, but I don't really want to do that because I'd prefer to have him here with me and raise him myself.
Right.
But yes, Alec Baldwin is just trying to talk her into this the whole time.
So does the pink bubble stuff clean the house?
I don't remember the pink bubbles.
Oh, well, the crate is open and the house is filling with this like pink bubbly
it's like
it's
radiating like weird like radioactive energy or some shit. Maybe it is pink or purple or something.
It's pink. Yeah.
And it's getting out of hand. So at this point, it's now warping the world so much that the house is now morphed into something that is unrecognizable as a house.
Well, that's a little later on.
Because there's like log chutes and shit that they're on a boat.
That's a little later on because they all get home and the house is clean. And it says Larry is spooked by the cat. Oh, the cat. And he falls over a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the house is starting to get weird. And they ride Mrs. Kwan to the crate.
That's what it is. I thought it was a boat.
They ride the fucking babysitter.
Yes, the babysitter. She's still asleep.
Still sleeping.
Yeah, she's still asleep. So like they're riding her as like a boat down this log.
Yeah, down this chute. Fuck.
That has a waterfall and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, and they struggle to put the lock on the crate. They finally get it. They close the crate. And the house falls the fuck apart.
Yeah.
It just crashes down. And then Lawrence like falls out of a tube on the side of the house covered in goo.
He comes out of the faucet where you would hook up the water hose.
On the side.
He comes out of that, and that looks terrible. And he's covered in just like purple slime shit.
Yeah.
Like gack.
Yeah, I was thinking it's very Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it's
yeah. He went on Double Dare or something. But yeah, and then he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids
are pissed off at the cat.
They're yelling at the cat
because the house is destroyed. They're now mad. They're telling him they don't want to be friends with him anymore.
GTFO.
They want him to get out,
That's
lead
right.
their lives, and fix what he broke.
Well, but he leaves. The kids yell at the cat, and he leaves. Right, he straight up leaves, and then they are like looking at each other and going, what the fuck are we going to do? Right. They decide to share the blame. Like, we both played a role in this. We have to fucking own up to it.
Yep.
And at that point...
Because Sally is like... Conrad was going to take the blame. He's like, look, Mom already hates me.
Right.
They're already sending me to military school. Yeah. You don't need to get involved in this.
And she's like, I did this too.
I'm just as much responsible as you are, and we will handle this together.
Exactly.
We will take the blame.
And at that point, the cat comes back. Ready to clean the house because there was a provision in the contract that if Conrad opened the crate, if he looked inside the crate, then like the contract was null and void. However, if they decide to get along and share the blame and all of that, at the end, the contract is full, in full force. And
Deus Ex Machina reason to have the cat come and fix the fucking house.
Yay. So yeah, he, earlier in the movie, he had this little like thing that he put on their foreheads. It told them what kind of kid they were, like how fun they were or whatever. And before, like, she was like, she was
too bossy.
Yeah.
And he was too like
he was
out of control
chaotic.
Or whatever.
And now they're both just right.
Yep.
Okay. Yay.
Who cares? Doesn't matter.
No, you got it right, Mew. So, so anyways, he checks them again, and now they're good. They thank the cat, and he cleans the house. The mom gets home. The cat sneaks out the back. Larry is purple, and the mom doesn't believe him. He's like, "You
look what they did to me!"
Fuck! And there was this big cat, and da 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 da, and she's like, I don't think so, Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't want to date you anymore. Get out of here, loser.
Get out of here. No military school for my son.
Yeah. So she breaks up with him and kicks him out of the fucking house.
She does.
For no reason, really. I mean, she should technically, at this point, she should be like, look, I am concerned for you.
Yeah.
You are covered in purple shit. You are having a mental breakdown, and you are telling me that my son is responsible for this. Yeah. Like, maybe there should be at least a little bit of, like, let's sit down and talk this out.
Something has gone on with you today.
Yes, something happened. You're blaming my kid. I need to hear what they have to say. I need to hear what you have to say, and we're going to figure this out. But no, she's just like, yeah, you're ridiculous. Get out of here. I hate you.
Here. I have a party.
We
to
are
put
done.
on. Yeah. And you know, the party's a big hit. Yay. Everybody's fantastic. And the movie like ends with like
them jumping on a couch.
Them jumping on the couch.
And then the narrator explaining the lesson they learned while the camera pans out of the window and it turns out the cat is the fucking narrator.
Yes.
As the final jokey joke.
End of movie.
To punctuate this fucking monstrosity of a film.
I did not like this.
Yeah, I did not either. I think that's very clear.
Mew, would you recommend it?
Why? Okay, yeah.
She's messy.
Well, she didn't like people.
No, that's true.
So-
She likes you, me, and our kid.
Yeah.
And kind of my mom.
Would you
and my
recommend
brother.
that we watch it again? No, yeah, that's better.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Dude, she knows who feeds her.
Oh, yeah. She knows who gives the pets and the scritches
That's
and who
right.
gives her the food.
That's right. Oh, my God. Well, this...
For all that this movie is an hour and 20 minutes long, whatever it is, it feels way longer. It feels far too long. Because you fell asleep 3 times
I did.
during this thing.
I did.
Long enough for me to notice. And this movie was still going.
Yeah.
It-
And yet I don't feel like I missed anything important.
You didn't.
It was
We
just-
hit all the beats here. Like I said,
it is just as disjointed. My notes are garbage, right?
yeah.
That's because the movie is.
Yeah. And like I said before, this is a 3-minute plot
Yeah.
that they stretched out to almost an hour and a half. And it
There's
feels...
just so many. There's so if they have to make a fucking feature-length movie out of this child's book. There's so much more interesting shit they could do. Also, they could include everything that happened in the goddamn book.
Yeah. Or they could just not make it.
Well, that was never going to happen because money. So, but why not take them into the cat's world for a time? Like, or
Why not do
any
Green
other-
Eggs and Ham instead? You could turn Green Eggs and Ham into a Homer's Odyssey type movie.
You could do the
very
speeches
easily.
real well, and that has to do with like racism and all kinds of
There
shit.
you go.
That would be super cool.
Cat in the Hat is not like... It's not
Well, I think
doomed to
feel
fail.
like- I feel like they have to make it because if there is one, I think, quintessential Dr. Seuss book,
Hop on Pop.
it's a good one. I love that book.
Hop on Pop would have been a better film.
But the Cat in the Hat is like, you know, like I don't know. Did you have a lot of the Dr. Seuss books?
I had,
when you were a kid?
yeah, tons
You
of them.
have like the beginning reader, you know, like the little.
Yes.
It was a little sticker. It was
Yeah.
the cat. So like he is like.
Yes, he is the mascot
of
of Dr. Seuss.
Nice. So you know, I feel like that was inevitable.
Yeah.
Whether or not it should have.
Well, I mean, there were
happened,
already
it was gonna
adaptations. Like you mentioned, there was the animated
Yeah.
thing from probably the 80s.
happen. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then there was that, what was it called? It was like the one Tabulous World of Dr. Seuss that was on
Tabulous. Yeah.
Nickelodeon Jr. or
I
something.
didn't watch that.
I mean, the cat was the main character in that,
Yeah.
but that was puppets.
Yeah, it
that
was.
wasn't animated.
Yeah.
But this just kind of, it doesn't have its own.
They could have combined the Cat in the Hat and the Cat in the Hat comes back because he literally comes back to the house.
Yeah.
Like, and I like that book. That one's good too. There's a cake involved and a pink, there's a pink thing in the tub. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
No,
yeah.
it's not as if this is a concept doomed to fail. I mean,
No,
How the Grinch Stole Christmas,
yeah,
that was a success.
it was.
Horton Hears a Who, that was a success. The
Yeah.
Lorax was a major
The
success.
Lorax did really well.
Mostly because like a lot of Gen Z found the one sort attractive.
Oh, it did. The ones like became like a whole thing. I'm a little too old.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but if I had been 12 or something, you know me, I'm fucking emo. Like, it probably would have
Yeah,
been
you
a
like
thing.
weirdos.
Fuck you. Yeah, what does that say about you?
Nothing. Nothing. Not a damn
Not
thing.
a damn thing.
But again, this is not a concept that is destined for failure.
No.
It just needed to be done in the right hands.
Not like this.
Like with Jim Carrey's Grinch movie, Ron Howard directed that.
Yeah. And
That's not a nobody.
History of like
I don't even
kind of whimsical.
I don't even know who directed this fucking movie. I don't care.
Know.
He probably directed Son of the Mask.
Oh god, I googled The Cat in the Hat and it says already watched. Fucking Google knows I watched this movie.
Yeah, dude,
oh, that's terrible.
We already watched. And
Directed by Bo Welch in his directorial debut.
Oh, there you go. All right, so we're already giving this to somebody who has not proved themselves worthy enough to adapt a Dr. Seuss film into something coherent.
Production designer. I was looking up his filmography and it says The Color Purple and I was like, I'm fucking sorry. What? Production designer.
There you go. So you have
production designer on a lot of good movies. Lost Boys, Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns.
I can actually see that because there are a lot of elements of those movies in this.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's no elements of Dr. Seuss in it. That's my only issue. Look, you could give me all of these same lame ass jokes, this same fucking plot, but just make this look like a Dr. Seuss world.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. And I wouldn't probably have hated it as much.
It didn't need to be a Dr. Seuss world. The cat is the one that brings the whimsy in. He was nominated for a Raspberry for Worst Director for this movie.
Well deserved.
Yeah, he directed 2 episodes of
He should have won.
I don't know who won that year. 5 episodes of a series of unfortunate events with Jim Carrey.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, 5 episodes of something called Secret Agent Man from 1999 to 2000.
The series of unfortunate events, was that the Netflix thing?
Yeah.
That's not Jim Carrey. He did the movies.
Oh.
There was
it says 2017 to 2019.
Yeah, there were
he was Uncle Olaf.
Yeah. In the movie adaptation
Is that not what it is? Yeah, no, it's a TV series.
He was in that?
Hold on. No, Neil Patrick Harris,
yes.
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris played his role from the film in that Netflix series.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize they did a TV show. Whew. All right, is that the good Tick? No, that's the live action Tick. Okay, so he does
the one from the 90s.
Yeah, it's not the cartoon.
Patrick Warburton.
Patrick Warburton.
God damn it.
So how did Patrick Warburton not play Alec Baldwin's role in this?
It would have
been a clean sweep.
Yeah, it would have been way better.
Oh my God.
They also should have got somebody else to play the cat. I don't know who they could have got. Jim Carrey would have done it well.
I just don't think they should have done it like this, man.
No, not at all. The director was confused, very confused making this film. He did not know how to direct.
I feel
Mike
like
Myers.
this is something that he had a passion for. Like he really wanted to be a director.
I don't. I think this was something that was handed to him because he was
a production designer from 1985 onward, and he did really well. Like he's attached to a lot of really good project there, and then also things like Wild Wild West, which to this day remains the only movie I have ever walked out of the theater.
It was bad.
When the big spider happened, I was like, I am done.
This is that thing where he's like, look, I've been a production designer. I want to be a director.
Yeah,
give me a movie. I'm ready. And they're like, here's this. I don't think he chose this.
I don't know.
I think this was given to him because I can't see how they had a whole lot
From what I can tell, it's the only movie he ever directed.
Yeah, because this is a career ender.
Yeah.
It is terrible. This is not a good film. There's nothing redeeming about it. The songs by the way, Smash Mouth is in this way too much.
Yeah, well,
they play like 2 or 3 different Smash Mouth songs.
Yeah.
Like Smash Mouth is the soundtrack to this movie.
R.I.P. to Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't know his fucking name.
I don't either.
I just call him Smash Mouth.
Sure.
Yeah.
That works.
Well, again, that's this weird ties together with Mike Myers, Shrek.
Yes.
All of that shit.
Which is, I can guarantee you, is why Smash Mouth was on this. Mm-hmm. But this everything about this movie is incoherent, much like this episode was, because we were all over the place. But it doesn't work as a movie. It doesn't work as an adaptation. At one point, he's got a Hummer.
Yeah.
Because, the H3 had just come out.
Oh, yeah.
And they were promoting this thing. There's weird product placement in this that just shouldn't be there because it's simply because it was popular at the time or they were trying to get you to buy it.
Oh, okay. I was looking up who won Worst Director at the Raspberries in 2003.
Wasn't Catwoman.
No, it was Martin breast or breast for Geely. The Ben Affleck.
Geely was not worse than this.
Well, I don't know.
There's no way Geely was worse than this.
Yeah, the movies nominated for worst director there were Geely, From Justin to Kelly, Boat Trip, The Matrix Reloaded, The Matrix Revolutions, and The Cat in the Hat. Yeah, but Geely won.
I think Cat in the Hat was by far the worst out of all those.
You're a big fan of From Justin to Kelly?
I would watch that before I would watch this. I absolutely would.
What the fuck is Boat Trip? Oh, it's one of those.
This is one of those, like...
Cuba Gooding Jr., Horatio Sands, Vivica A. Fox.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
That's that era.
Yeah. That's like
sure.
like Euro Trip.
Yeah.
Except that one, I don't fucking care what that movie was funny. Euro Trip was funny.
This was the era of like that new generation of National Lampoon and Broken Lizard. I liked it better,
though. Yeah, no, Euro Trip was funny.
Yeah.
Scotty doesn't know. Come on. And Fred Armisen. Exactly. It's the first thing I ever saw Fred Armisen in was the fucking creep on the train in Euro Trip. Oh my God. Anyways.
So I think you should not watch this ever.
We did it for any reason. Man.
There's no reason to watch it.
I never wanted to.
It wouldn't be fun if you were drunk. It wouldn't be fun if you were high. There are far other things that
you were almost like
waste your time on.
Starting to do you would not like it with the hat. You would not like it with the cat.
You would not like this.
You would not like this, Sam. I am. You will not like it if you're high. You will like it in the sky.
Oh, you would not like it on a boat. You would not like it with a goat.
No.
This movie is the worst.
Someone save us.
I don't think I've seen a worse adaptation of anything.
Death Note.
Yeah.
I rage quit. I'm still mad.
Yeah, it's up there with Death Note for sure.
Yeah,
Death Note is on par with this.
Well, you know.
This might have been a little more fun. It's at least more colorful.
I had to watch this. I'll put it this way: when you told me we were doing this, I was horrified and dismayed. If you tried to tell me that we were going to do the Netflix Death Note for this, I would sooner leave the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm not even joking. Like, I didn't want to watch that. I walked into the living room when you were watching it, and then it's like that horrible, it's like a car accident, right? Like, you got to kind of stop and be like, oh God, okay, let me see.
Right.
And all I remember is I ended up yelling at the TV and leaving the room. I didn't ever finish it. How dare you do that? And I hate
I did watch it. I finished it. It was awful. This is god awful too.
There's levels of awful is all there is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And as far as a Netflix roulette episode goes, I mean, we'll probably do this again. I think it was kind of interesting. Like, luckily we landed on something that we could say something about.
What I think is funny is, yes, Mew, I know. What was funny is, and she's trying to fucking get ahead of me here, we had actually been trying to think about, like, the fact that Mew is here is either going to be, people are either going to find it funny or fucking ridiculous. Right. And I don't care which. Fuck you. Well, our podcast.
I wanted to do an episode with her. Yeah. She's getting up there in age. And once she passes, this is going to be fun to go back and listen to.
She is a very talkative lady. You guys don't understand. I mean, she hasn't talked a whole lot here, but she's very talkative.
She is microphone shy.
Yes. Well, it's her first time.
It is.
No, it is. You're doing good, Mew.
You're definitely coming back.
Absolutely. But we had been thinking about, like, what to do, right?
Yeah, I was thinking, like talking cat movies.
Yeah.
What could possibly...
Like, for a couple of months, even, we've been like, it comes up every so often.
Right.
And then here comes this. And then Chucky refuses to do it.
It was meant to be.
It was.
It was.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
But yeah, as far as a Netflix roulette episode goes, we'll probably do another one. Chucky brought up a good point as to why he doesn't like these, or this idea anyway, is what if this had landed on, I don't know, Rain Man, or The Manchurian Candidate, or Schindler's List?
Okay, but to my point, we don't just, this podcast is what we make of it. Yeah. Okay? And we don't just review bad things. We don't just review silly things. We've done a variety of things, and we plan to do more in the future.
But it ain't going to be things like The English Patient.
Well, you want to talk about me falling asleep.
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie either.
You could fall asleep
The
and
only
wake up
thing
the
I
next
know about
day and
The
that movie
English
would still be on.
Patient is literally from Seinfeld. That is what I fucking know about The English Patient.
Yeah, I have actually seen The English Patient, and I agree
Doesn't it have to
100%
do
with Elaine.
horses or something?
It is the most boring fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I would watch Cat in the Hat again.
Isn't Daniel Day-Lewis in there?
Hell if I remember.
Is it? Maybe it's not.
I watched that movie back when it was like fairly new on home video.
I could be like
my mom and
very
my
much
aunt and my sister made me sit down and watch that movie with them in the living room
See,
during
mom,
family time.
You know my mom. She's not the type of woman to watch The English Patient. She was watching Last of the Mohicans, right? And going, ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen
Daniel
that too.
Day-Lewis on that. But that's a decent movie. My Left Foot's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're just talking about Daniel Day-Lewis. I am trying to talk about good things.
We are trying to talk about anything other than Cat in the Hat. Yeah.
Don't watch this. Go watch Wayne's World, God damn it. Like,
if you are not familiar with Mike Myers and his brand of humor, don't make this the first thing that you watch. No. Go watch Wayne's World. Go watch So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yeah.
Go watch
SNL
old SNL skits.
Linda Richman. Fucking Dieter.
I mean, there were a lot of characters that he brought.
No, we dance.
Yeah. Now is the time of the show when we dance. But this is not it. I mean, even go watch Austin Powers.
Sure.
Go watch Shrek.
I don't like Shrek.
I've never seen The Love Guru, and I hope to God I never have to.
I don't want to watch that. It's why I didn't want to watch this. Like when I love something or someone, or even if it's just for a specific role or two, and then they do like things that, I suffer terribly from secondhand embarrassment. Mm-hmm. It makes me extremely uncomfortable.
I kind of feel like Jack Black is going down this route with his career.
With the Minecraft, what the fuck? Now he's Steve?
Yeah.
And he's just him. He didn't even brush his hair.
He was Gulliver in Gulliver's Travels.
He was Bowser.
He's had some hits, but he's also had some Mike Myers moments,
Yeah. I really think the Minecraft movie is going to be a big one. Everybody's like, what the fuck is this?
No idea.
Although Tasty from Orange is the New Black is in it. You didn't really watch
that movie ain't for me.
No, I'm not going to watch it. I don't even like Minecraft.
No. But it is kind of sad to see Mike Myers
don't like
pull things like this out of his ass.
Things that are close to my heart.
Yeah.
Crash and burn. Or just embarrass themselves, dance monkey dance type shit. I'm like, ugh.
He was in Inglourious Bastards. He had a brief cameo, and that was a serious role.
It was.
And he did a great job.
To do his accents.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was good. Where is Mike Myers?
I hope he's okay.
Okay.
Are you okay, Mike?
Mike.
Write us. Let us know.
Feel free to come on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, come defend this movie if you would.
No, you don't need to do that. I just want to talk to you and thank you for adding a lot of value to my childhood. And we'll just forget this part.
And to be fair, I mean, he does seem like a genuinely nice fucking dude who didn't deserve this.
No.
Any more than we did.
I hope he got a really good paycheck and stayed the fuck off the internet.
I mean, he was coming off the heels of Austin Powers and Shrek. He got paid. Most of this movie's budget went to him, I'm sure. Him and Alec Baldwin.
So. Well, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
I like him in Beetlejuice, and that's like it.
Me too. Yeah. He's never a reason for me to watch a movie.
He's just such a douche.
And in this movie, too, he is a fucking creep-azoid in this fucking movie. To the point where, it doesn't feel like he's acting. He feels pretty genuine in this role as himself.
Yeah.
This is coming off as too natural. You know what I mean?
He's real in the face of that child.
Just the sleazy fucking
vitriol. I don't know.
And the attitude that is oozing off of him. Feels way too. And if this is an act, then kudos.
Good job.
I mean, give that man the fucking Oscar, because.
Yeah. Gross.
But again, you don't need to watch this. I'm never going to watch it again. I'm going to forget about it. Aside from editing this thing, I'm not even ever going to listen to this episode again unless Mew passes away.
Well,
and unfortunately, this is what I got to remember her with.
Oh my God. That is the true travesty of the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, depending. Don't get ahead of yourself. I think she's enjoyed herself. Yeah, she's already trying to invite herself.
Yeah, I
back
mean,
on.
she fell asleep through most of it, just like you did with the movie.
Well, you know what? She gets me. All right.
All right, well, with that, I guess we can call this an episode. It was a little disjointed, but whatever.
So was this movie.
Yeah. So where can people find you, Jess?
Oh, me, I'm Jess Moon. I'm at JHL Moon. On Instagram, I'm honestly kind of thinking about maybe deleting my Twitter. I'm like never on there.
I'm barely on it. I focus more on Instagram, honestly. It's where the podcast is growing the most.
Yeah, that and YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but you know, I don't know. I write books. I wrote books. I have a publishing house. You can go to shadowsparkpub.com for all of that
Buy
shit.
my book. Buy my book. Buy my book.
Aw, we should do the critic.
We should. We should.
Can't do.
Oh, that is infinitely quotable.
Yeah, I know. Especially Dr. J. Yeah, anyways, that's me.
Yeah, all right. Well, Lady Airmid Diane Peckinpaw, also known as Mew, where can people find you? No, don't give them links to your OnlyFans.
I didn't know you had a Tumblr.
Why are you on Grindr? Anyways, no, we're done.
Oh, no,
talking to you.
She's like, this might be my only shot. I gotta put it all out.
Yeah, well, there you go, folks. If you have any desire to see any of that, go for it. But
girl, make that bank. I'm not even gonna shame you.
Either way, Mew, thank you so much for doing this. You've been wonderful helping us out in the place of Chucky, who couldn't manage to be here today.
Couldn't bother.
Yeah.
Butthole.
That's fine. We'll get him to watch something else he doesn't want to watch.
Good.
He'll have to do it eventually.
Where can people find you, Chad?
I mean, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. You can find me at Chad J Moon. The podcast does have a Instagram account at the_pretty_little_podcast.
Yeah.
You can find us on YouTube.
Yeah.
youtube.com/@theprettylittlepodcast 69420. If you want to see the logo while you listen. We don't have any videos yet.
We
have plans on doing it. We do have an episode that we did record.
Yeah.
Still needs to be edited. That will be a video episode. We'll see how that goes.
But like, comment, subscribe. You know, all the things that you always hear.
Yeah.
But like, genuinely do. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, fucking hit that bell.
Smash it.
Smash that fucking bell. Just
fucking
take that fucking...
Just get right in there and just fucking smash
Keep
the shit out of it.
fucking smashing the shit out of it.
Oh my god. I'm leaving.
We need sleep.
Yeah.
This movie broke me.
Yeah.
Bye.